Okay, so it's like 10 something at night, and we ordered one of these, what's it called, a draggy?
Yeah.
It's a draggy. They gotta come up with a cooler name than that, but we got one, and can't take the S10 up road right now, but we're gonna take the Duramax and see what it'll run in 8th mile, just to test this thing out. What's this Duramax? It's got 100 over tune, bigger injectors, nothing crazy.
It's got like 10% over injectors.
What'd you say it run in 8?
I'd say maybe like 10.5.
I think it'll run either a 990 something or a 1020, something like that in 8th mile. It'll probably be slower, but I think, yeah, I'm sticking with 1020, 990 to 1020, somewhere in there in 8th mile at like 70 something miles.
I'm gonna stick on the hood.
Yeah, but we're gonna test it. Alright, so there was a lady walking her dog in our street dyno area. Like, who does that at 10:30 at night? Is out walks her dog around?
Especially where there's no houses.
Yeah, where there's no houses and where our street dyno is. And here comes the car, so we'll just wait for this car to go and then we will try. But that is like fairly straight up through there.
It's close.
Cut it off. You got a fire extinguisher here. It's out the exhaust. Okay, so when we was testing that thing last night, abusing the Duramax, it blew the turbo, and I mean, blew the turbo.
Still busted.
That's what the noise was. That was pieces in that compressor. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Colton. Catastrophically destroyed the turbo.
Yeah.
Where's that piece at? There's a piece. There's some pieces. Alright, so the cold side stuff, everything is absolutely full of oil. It all poured down on the ground. Look at all that. It's in the intercooler and all that, so we're gonna have to flush this whole rig. And how much of a pain it is to get to anything and work on anything on the Duramax with the LB7 in it.
Oh, they're all. Keep whatever's in the horn in it.
Ooh, God. Well, it is dead. Yeah, it'll buff out. Anybody that ever wants to change a turbo on a LB7 Duramax for fun, don't do it. Because there's nothing fun about it.
No.
We have fought this thing. And look at all this. I mean, this has never been off 300,000 miles on this turbo. And he's actually fixing to pull it out, maybe.
That drain on the bottom's catching.
No. Yeah. Well, here, get under there.
That screwdriver.
And I'll pull up. And there's the turbo. Finally. God, that sucked.
And then
all right, it's off. Let's never, ever, 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 ever have to do that again. All right, well, we got the new turbo. The day after taking off the other turbo. All right, if anybody out there fixing to work on one of these, you take the bolt out of right there and you tilt the hood up and you put it back here. Then you can actually get in there and do something.
New turbo going back on.
It's on.
Today's
We're
festivities.
just trying to bolt everything back up.
Yep, they going back the other direction now. This thing's PIA. Pain ass.
Yeah, it is. But I got that, what'd you call it, that money shot?
That's what? Oh, yeah, Justin up here got his leg. I asked if he done any modeling. Look at his ball hanging up here. Yeah, he's got it all thrown up. I said, you ever do any modeling? Well, he's got his leg up on the damn hood of that truck.
I'm trying to sell this Duramax.
Huh? We're doing some show shots here with the damn khaki, not khaki, camouflage britches on. Hell yeah. That's how it works. You can call in the ice cream truck here.
Also, you gotta do an oil change.
Thanks to the good old Dash Dyno.
Yeah, they come up with that. It's called a draggy, but draggy is such a queer name.
Yeah, just I don't like draggy.
Yeah,
Dash Dyno, yeah. Yeah, draggy, just, you can't spell it either, so.
Draggy developers change the name because the name sucks.
Dash Dyno.
Draggy. I'm not with draggy
I
tonight.
can't spell it with shit either.
D-R-A-G-Y.
D-Y, yeah. Draggy.
I know it's probably inside the truck. But we got everything put back on, and yes, it's cold and raining. So. We're gonna start it, and it's gonna smoke like crazy, and we're gonna try to push what oil's in the intercooler out because we don't want to take the radiator and everything else out. Get the oil out of the intercooler. So let's try to start it and let it push out. We're still churning. That's a little better at idle.
Yeah. In gear.
Oh, it ain't as bad as it was.
Well, you can't see it. That's 55.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Yeah.
All right, I say you're fine. It's puffing, but nothing like it was.
Yeah.
And it sounds cool. You can hear the turbo. Well, that was an ordeal, ladies and gentlemen. That was an ordeal. Hope to never do it again. What do we learn from this, people? Don't blow up your turbo.
Yeah.
If you can help it. That was a 300-something thousand mile turbo.
Yeah.
She was old and wore out. All right, and we're here working on Chippy's truck. This is a fellow that works with Dad. This truck is amazing. Look at this thing. I'm in love. Just needs a turbo on it. But anyway, I built him a 600 for it. The quadrijet that was on it is acting crazy and leaking and everything else. You can see down in there. But it's got the stock intake on it. The aluminum intake would help it a bunch. But, man, I absolutely love this thing. It's so cool. But I built a 600, gonna slap that on there. Fire it up, dial it in, adjust the timing curve, and just make sure she's running good. All right, got the carburetor on. Everything hooked up, everything bolted up. I redid his PCV system because it was not very good. It was leaking here and leaking right there on the carburetor, which would run to the front. And his brake booster deal, that little valve that was back there, which is right here, this thing was leaking vacuum around it. So I deleted it, dug through my fitting box over there, and got a barb, threaded the barb in, put a clamp on that, run that to this, and to the brake booster. So now that's a separate circuit, and this is its own circuit. And I'm probably going to block this and block that and fire it up and run it and just get a base tune on the carburetor. And I also had to redo his fuel line. I had to go get a piece of fuel line 3/8 and run down because the old piece was not very good. But anyway, I need to put a plug right there
plug right there and fire it up and do a bass tune with the vacuum advance disconnected. But usually I clean these up really nice, but he didn't want one nice. He's like, I just want one that runs. He don't really care about it being pretty, because if it was too pretty, it would make the rest of the motor look not so nice. But everything's hooked up, just got to hook up the throttle. But until I adjust the curb idle, I won't know where to set the throttle at. And then I'll adjust the time, and I also hooked up a electric choke, so for cold starts. But yeah, we'll see what it does. Alright. Whatever, we'll just see what it does. Couple pump shots. Let it get a little heat in it. Alright, here's Chippies 600, no pump shot, nothing like that. Turn the switch. Fires right up. No leaks, everything's good. It wants me to take it up a road, so I guess that's what I'm going to do. I wonder if I need to turn the auto lift a little bit. So when it goes in gear. It's pretty good. Alright, this is Chippy's truck. Had an old quadrijet on it. I built a 600 for it and put it on here. Didn't clean it up super nice because that's not what he wanted. He wanted just a good running carburetor. Looked like it'd been on this motor. Match the rest of the motor, and that's exactly what it does. Looks just like it. But there we go. I'm gonna just ease it up through here and put a little bit of load on it, whatever else. He wanted me to like take it out and hammer it, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. It ain't my truck. But no pump shot. I don't think he's got no brake on now. Push brake in, pulling gear. Probably idling about 900. Back brakes is locking up on it. Got like this little bit of hiccup. It's either, I don't think it's getting enough fuel, or it's got not enough timing. Got this one little spot at part throttle. more fuel. It definitely needs more fuel. The mixture's perfect. I just think I need to step the jet up a little bit. All right, stepped up from 64s. I'm gonna go to 70, and I'm leaving the 6.5 power valve in it. That way I can meter off of that primary jet, and then when it opens up, it'll have all the fuel it needs, because this motor is a lot stouter than what originally thought it was. All right, went up to 70 jet, left the 6.5 power valve in it. This should clean everything up. I think it was just going a little lean because I had 64s in it, but that motor wants a little bit more fuel than what I was giving it. So I went up to a 70. But his neighbor's just sick of hearing me go up and down through here. But in the name of hot rods, well, not even hot rods, but in the name of Chevy pickup trucks, his brakes is sticking. But I can already tell that's way better, way better. Yep, that's 100 times better. Yeah, she just wanted more fuel. I'll know for sure when I get her here on the main road. I can already tell you that got it. The response, see, the response is way better. It's barely touching. This is a heavy truck, and I think that's a fairly mild 350, cast iron head, probably hydraulic flat tappet cam, probably in the 220, 230 duration range, probably on a 110 or 112 lobe separation. But yeah, it's way better. I love working on this stuff when you first get to it and it don't run good at all. It runs terrible, and then you change this and you change that and you tweak it and you tweak it and you start creeping up on it and you get her dialed, and that's awesome. So hopefully, he was wanting to sell this truck. So if he actually wants to sell it, I would be interested in getting it. I love this thing. 4-wheel drive, you can't beat it. But I bet after he drives it like this for a little while, he'll probably end up keeping it. 373s, probably a 2000 stall converter, and they got a tack in it, so I can't really tell, but it probably idles in gear about 900. See that? No hesitation, no jerking, no lugging. Oh yeah, that's way better. Just cruises, man. Good. You can't beat it on a Chevy truck. I think this thing could probably use a bigger carburetor than that, but he'll get gas mileage with this one. It was having hard start issues. It was lugging and bucking and acting crazy. So this thing's good. Way better. That kickdown works great. Like when you cruise like I'm driving up and down through there, that's barely in the throttle at all. Barely in the throttle at all. You should be happy with it. Call that a success. Tools, and it'll be a wrap on this deal. But it wouldn't start up once it got up to temperature. He would shut it off and it wouldn't start back up. No pump shot, nothing. I know I keep saying it, but it's kind of important because that means the mixture is just right. Perfect. Fired right back up. So I dig it. Cool. Man, I love this truck. Needs a turbo though. Oh, and that fell off. Well, cool. That's a wrap. There you go, buddy. She's all good.